everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am excited to do a mid-year planner flip and show you what my setup has been for February 2025 through July 2025 so far. I was in another planner for January. I'll do that as a separate video. So subscribe and like this video so you can stay up to date. So that will be a video coming up. You won't want to miss out on my channel. Another video I will be bringing very soon is a flip of my 2024 planner, which will be very interesting because if you did not know, I'm sure you did, I took a very long sabbatical from filming YouTube content. I think my last planner video was sometime in perhaps March or April, maybe early May of 2024, which was over a year ago. I was burnt out last year. I took a break from filming. I ended up taking a break from using planners for a while until I jumped back in at the end of the year, and I was really excited to finish out the year in my Hobonichi Weeks, and I can't wait to show you how it ended up looking from being used for the first part of the year, a break in the middle, and then finishing out the year. So that'll be another video. Again, make sure you are subscribed and you like this for similar content. But this year I am in a Moterm. This is the case, the cover. This is the burnt orange color. I got it from Amazon. This folder, honestly, I won in an Instagram giveaway about a decade ago, very, very long time ago. I don't know where it's from and there's no branding on it. I don't even remember if she was a shop or she just made a few of these as hobbies and did it as an Instagram giveaway. To be honest, I can't remember. But my actual planner is the common planner, the full year, and the horizontal. So essentially, it is a very large Hobonichi Weeks. So I am in one of my favorite sizes and planners of all time, which is a standard size. And I have one of my favorite kind of layouts or book systems, which is a Hobonichi Weeks. And I am in love. I have been enjoying this from the first day of February I got to use it through now. So these are just little bits like my little girls, they made for me. This calendar came as a freebie with my order, so I could turn it that way. That's actually really pretty because I don't really look at the calendar, to be honest. In the front, I just have sticky notes. I replenish them every once in a while. It's kind of an inbox. It's a little scribble place. I can write things down. Here, I was just looking up a bunch of recipes and writing those down. So I will probably put them in another place. You'll see that soon. I have a more official spot in my planner for things like that. So this is the calendar in the front. I'm just putting a little sticker on each month as it goes by. It's a great visual of how far we have come in the year and how far we have left to go. I can't believe that in a day or so we are going to be putting a sticker on July. That's pretty crazy, actually. Here is a great place to put like a vision board, and I think when I started consuming planner content again at the end of last year, a lot of people were setting up their 2025 planners and they were using this type of spread as a vision board. I'm pretty sure I designed one on Canva and had issues with my printer and just never got back to it. But there's one thing I've been realizing. I've been doing a lot this July, this mid-year, and on the one hand, a piece of me is like, oh, the year's almost over, the year's almost over. And the other part is like, hang on, there's an entire half of a year left. And so I might still put something here that's decoration and I might not. Here is the goals spread. Now, the funny thing is normally I would be all over this type of daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, half year, 1 year, and someday goal breakdown, processing, planning, really working to make these kind of measurable, doable type of goals. But my word of the year is actually simplify. I want flexible daily rhythms and routine. I want house management systems, resets every few months, things like that. I want peace and joy in the journey. I wanted a slower, more simple year. And I really reflected that in my movement goals, my reading goals, my food related goals, and social media. And that was just to take everything nice and easy. Like, all I wanted to do was maybe start filming again. And it's July, it's nearly August. It's taken me this long to mentally get ready, to actually get my space and my setup ready. Same thing with like movement. It wasn't about huge January 1st fitness goals and certain workouts. It was about showing up when I can and so on. So I still really love this. And I think it turned out very beautiful and it's inspiring. And as I'm looking at this, actually, I have been following this really well. It has been a fantastic year. Here is the yearly tracker, and I finished this in my 2024 planner. So even though I wasn't actually using a paper planner for the whole year, I was able to kind of back plan and remember things. I'll explain that when I show my 2024 Hobonichi full flip through. But I really became motivated with tracking and just how amazing it feels to look back over the year at the end of the year and see it all filled out. So I really wanted to use this for something. I decided it's my Bible study tracker. So not just reading the books of the Bible, I'm actually taking time to study them. And so I just write down the name and kind of draw a line to show how long it's taking me and which days I'm doing that one. And I really love how it looks. And I cannot believe how close it seems to the end of the year looking at this spread. Like we're already on this page, right? And there's, we're in that second half. So here is the quarterly goals and tracking. There's so many ways you can use this section. Again, I think I got a lot of inspiration from watching YouTube videos. I wish I could think of some and maybe name some names, but I honestly cannot. Here I just try to write a little blurb about my mentality or the intention for the month, and then I do keep track. And so far it's pretty much been the same things: Bible, movement, practicing ASL. I'm trying to learn it. My kids and I are learning it. Here it was called gratitude. It's now just my monthly. I'll show you that in a second. Memory verse. There was a memory verse challenge our church was doing. So I don't have that on here anymore further into the year because we haven't resumed the next one, but hopefully we will sometime in the next couple months. And then read. So I want to read more days than I don't read. Last year I did a lot of spurts where I would read 5 books in a week and then I wouldn't touch a book for 4 months. I wanted this year, even if I just read 1 page a day, I wasn't going to put a number on it, but I wanted to feel that by the end of the year, I've consistently been reading through books. And for the most part, I really think if I was to go through and count, I think that's probably true. So we are already past the second quarter, same thing, pretty much all the same habits. And we are in the third quarter. So I washied and used a highlighter for these to just do every other one to make it easier when I'm tracking. And so I even have quarter 4 already set up. And this has been such a huge help for me this particular year. First, coming back to paper planners at all and feeling so burnt out last year, not specifically with planning, but life in general seems to be going so quickly. So one thing that has been huge is just having so much more of my planner kind of basically set up because I want it to look beautiful. But then functionally, I'm able to just kind of flip the page and keep going. And I've never been in a spot where something wasn't already set up. I'm just enough ahead. And it has been such a great feeling. So already have Q4 just prepped. And then I didn't fill out what the habits would be because I wanted the ability to change them based on what my life was like in each month. Although at this point, I anticipate they're gonna be the same things. By the way, I will mention one that I've added since the weather's been nice is fresh air. because I want to make sure I'm getting outside for a little bit. So that'll last probably into October, maybe November, probably not December. So this was December of last year. I wasn't in this book. I was finishing up my Hobonichi, and actually I had a completely different planner set up for January anyways. But I did back plan. So all of this came from my January planner. I did do this in the monthly spot in my other planner. Again, that'll be a future video. This in January was specifically a gratitude log, but I realized very quickly, maybe a week into the year or a week into the month, that I was frustrated having to stop and think of something that was gratitude to write here when what I wanted this to be was a memory keeper. So I would not be grateful I was sick, but if we were sick, I wanted to be able to write that. I wanted this to be a monthly overview, could be a highlight, could be any memory. It's just like at a glance, what was the month like? So by the time I was ready to start February, I already knew it was not going to be specifically gratitude. I could write whatever I wanted to. So these I also had pre-washi taped from the very first day. So I don't have to think about it. I flip the page to the new month and I'm ready to write things down. So I have been keeping up with this. I think it looks fantastic. I love seeing when major events had happened and different things. Okay, it looks great now, but it was an absolute disaster during the month of May. I wanted to try a sticker a day, and I was even like, oh, I don't have to write anything down. Whether I remember or not, it'll just look great. I'll just put a sticker down. Yeah, I didn't really have it set up where my stickers were available to me. So I ended up doing this twice, I think. So like 2 or 3 weeks had gone by and I was like, oh yeah, I got to fill these in. So I'd like thumb through my planner and I'd just grab some stickers. And then at the end of the month, I also did it like one more time to fill everything in. So I'm glad I did that. I'm glad it's filled in. It looks great. It's fun, but I don't remember what any of these are. And some of the time I would not have a sticker to represent whatever it is I wanted to have as the memory. So I just have some weird ones and I don't even know what they mean. So I went back to writing it down and I absolutely love it. So I have a little tab right here so I can just come to the current quarterly tracker and then I can flip over to the current month. And I fill this in every 2 or 3 days. I'm not too worried about it being every day, but we're almost done there. And I already have the extra days blocked off and decorated with washi for August. And I went through and I did kind of the themed washi that I knew I would prefer based on the season and did the whole year. And I really don't think I'll be in here in January or have any need for that. So I left it blank. Again, I was not in this specific planner for January, but I did back plan for 2 reasons. One, I do want to transfer anything important from that planner. In the end, I'm going to throw it away probably or give it to one of my kids to just draw on. And so I want to grab some memories and some journaling and some things and put it here. But the other thing was I wasn't sure the exact layout. So I was in a completely different size and style of planner. And I had this sleep tracker. I had this little these 2 trackers over on the side. So this one is which days did I wash my hair and did I fill out my trackers in the back? Yes, I had a tracker for my trackers. And to see if it would fit and if it would look good on the page, I went ahead and back planned January to see if I liked it. And I might even go in and bring over my to-do lists and just copy them down at some point. I'm not worried about that yet, but this was a great way for me to figure out how I wanted the layout to look. And then here in February was the first week I actually used this planner. So I actually used the to-dos. I check things off and strike it through when I'm done. It's just how I like it to look. An arrow is migrated or didn't get it done, and sometimes I'll exit out that I didn't do it, but it usually has to be done, so it's just migrated. Same sleep trackers and so forth. I would pre-set these up. Well, I'll show you when we get to where I am currently, because I have started to prep August. So just a bit of washi, every once in a while a sticker, sometimes a different color highlighter to kind of go with the washi tape. And this has really been serving me so well the whole year. Put time sensitive things over here, to-dos, trackers. I added another one. This is check money. I just wanted to get eyes on my bank account every day. So I don't always remember, but that's there to remind me, just kind of keep an eye on things. So yeah, I've been loving this planner. I feel like it is the perfect size. I feel like even on weeks when I don't use as much to-do space, because I have trackers on the bottom, it's like a pleasant amount of white space, and it looks used and it feels used, and I love it. This was a vacation week, so I did a completely different washi tape scheme, and I kind of like how it looks so different than everything else. And it's like, well, that's because it was a vacation. It was completely different. Okay, so then I came back from vacation and I didn't have my trackers set up, and so I didn't use them. But then I was inspired, and I wish I knew who to give credit to, because this was just an image I stumbled across on Pinterest where the person wrote down their tasks and then over here did the Monday through Sunday, and then just use the highlighter in between, and it makes it look so filled in and crisp. And the problem I have sometimes with trackers is this is a small word and then this is a big word, and like, where do you line everything up? And then you have awkward indentation. So I love how this looks, and you'll see that I continue to use that. All right, so I have a little tab down here, which is really nice. It's my first tab, and to get to the current week, I just use my thumb like that and pull the book open. So I have my layout for the week and everything, that I'm using, and my to-do, and it's completely functional and beautiful. I love it. It's so simple and straightforward. So I have already started to prep the month of August. Now in my weekly pages, I have been doing 1 month at a time. I didn't want to go too far pre-decorating or pre-setting up, because one, what if I wanted to change layouts? Or you can see how I changed the trackers, not only the look of them, but I changed up partway through the year some of the things that I had on my trackers. So I didn't want to get myself in trouble by having things too set up, but I did want to make it easier for myself. If I wake up on a Monday, flip the page, and I'm like, oh my goodness, there's nothing here, it's so much easier to just quickly write down what my to-dos or my tracker is, and write the word to do up here and get my list started, than it is to go get some washi tape, decide what color I want, and then I have my highlighter and my pens just right here. So I need to finish setting this up. I will probably set up this week's tracker, and then I'll probably put the highlighter for to do at the top of all of these pages. And this is how I have been functioning in my planner, just always about 4 weeks in advance, and then the rest of the weeks are blank until December. So that's the weekly section. In the back I have dailies and I have notes. So let me show you how I have that arranged. So in between the last week and the first daily page, I decided I wanted a full spread to be empty. I can put some other sort of decorative vision board or something here if I want, but then we move into the daily pages. So I write the day and the date, and every once in a while, so I don't have to write it every single time, I write what month it is. So this was January 30 and 31st, and here's February 1st. And then at the switch of the month, wherever that is, I would have written, so there's the end of February and the beginning of March. So that's how I kind of did that. I alternate so it looks like a fun banner. I write journaling, tasks for the day. I write to-dos, notes, appointments. The daily page is as much space or as little space as I need. Any day that I need it, I use it. There are whole chunks of days and weeks that I don't use a daily page at all. And that's like the perfect thing for me in this season, in this planner. I feel like I have everything I need whenever I need it, and I'm never running out of space. So I have all of these gorgeous pages. I'll kind of want to just sort of give you a taste because there's a lot of private journaling in some of these. Let's skip that section. So just different things. And same thing. I forgot to cross my T. Sorry, squirrel, I got distracted for a moment. There we go. So I decorate a few pages ahead. So I have a variety of stickers that are just left in my collection from over the years, and I will just put a few stickers on the page, and then all of the journaling is actually done around the stickers. So in January, you'll see it took me a little while to figure out this system. And I tried a couple of different layouts for daily pages before I discovered this and figured out this is what I like. And one of the things I noticed is I never knew where to put my stickers in my washi tape. And it was annoying because I was waiting until like the day of in the morning. I'd be like, okay, you know, it's Tuesday morning. I got to get going for the day. These are my thoughts and what I need to write down for the day. Oh, I need a piece of washi so I can put it at the top and write the date. And this way I just pick up wherever I left off and I write the date and I get going and I write around the stickers. So I always have at least, I don't know, 2 to 5. I think one time I had like 8 pages of sticky, pre-stickied pages ready for me and I caught up to that. So I'm not going through them super fast. This might take me like a whole month to go through 2 pages, or I might decide to journal tomorrow and need another page. So this is how I've been setting up my dailies, and all of this is blank. Officially up until, is it right there? Is that my, nope, up until here, I have like 200 daily pages available to me for journaling. And I guarantee you I will not need that many pages between now and the end of the year. But I'm glad I have all this space. I'll show you my notes section here next, because I am thinking about coming to this spot and kind of going backwards and starting to set aside a few pages for Christmas planning, at least to just kind of wrap my head around a few things and start making lists. Like if my kids say something, I might want to write that down. But my notes, if we start from the back, I've been working my way towards the middle. That way, starting my daily pages from the front, working to the middle. I know I'll meet in the middle somewhere and I'll have plenty of room for whichever section needs more space. So my first thing is a reading log. Oh, I never gave a star review here. So I just write down a little star review. I'm gonna give it 2 stars. So that was A Study in Scarlet. That is Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. It took me a second. Sherlock Holmes. So it was good. Here is, oh, I need to start writing these down. This is my decluttering, simplify the house tracker. So things like teacher manuals for homeschool, kids' toys, kids' games, kid books, my kids' rooms, pantry, clothes, washi and stickers, things like that. Going through everything on a very regular basis to make sure I've purged the things I don't like and I've kept it tidy. The more I do that, the easier it will be each time. So I'm starting to go through all of these areas a second time. I started at the beginning of the year to do all of those areas once. Some of them were even in December, right before the year started. So got a jump start on that. Here in July and August, I want to go through pretty much all of these areas again. And then right around Thanksgiving, Christmas, before the new year, I want to go through everything a third time in preparation for things like Christmas and the new year. And so I'll just date it when I go through it. I left extra space if I wanted to add any areas, and I never did. So these are those meal ideas. I was trying to do more like your comfort foods for during the winter time and more like your grilling, barbecuing type foods in the summertime with the 2 different lists and washi tapes. And that's probably where I will take a lot of these, maybe even just move the sticky notes over here, honestly, and put them on this list. So this is just menu ideas. This is a little Kanban board situation that I did for my homeschool group tasks. I'm on the board. I have a job that I do a couple times a year. I repeat a lot of these tasks, and so I just put them over here when it's about time to do them again. In the middle of doing them, I put them on the to-do. If I'm waiting for something or I just want to give everybody a chance to check things, it's in progress. And when it's done, I put it here as kind of like proof and a checklist of what I did do. This is the Children's Church rotation schedule that I'm a part of. This is Stardew Valley checklists. I love that game. It's the only game I have. These are how I menu plan for a good chunk of the year through June. I've taken a break from this. I've been doing a lot of like what's in my freezer and what do I have instead of actually planning out a full week and buying the groceries. I've been trying to buy a ton less and work through some of the things we've stored up. I tend to plan the 7 meals. If we end up going out for dinner one night or having my in-laws over and having pizza, then that food will kind of go in the freezer. So if we were gonna have chicken or something, that chicken goes in the freezer. Well, after a while, I've kind of stockpiled some stuff that just needs to be eaten. So that's what that is. Blank pages, because I always want to be able to write anything that I want. Here I am just tracking some workouts and some information. Maybe I'll do a video about that. My husband and I thought we were going to put in a garden this year. I probably started filling this out in like February or March, and guess what? We don't have a garden this year, and I'm totally fine with that. This I need to look into. I want to try making bread and freezing it. I don't know if you freeze the dough and then let it thaw and rise, or if you freeze the bread and then you can like toast it. I don't know, but I need to look into that. There are some notes there. Oops, I'm a little crooked. These are some really healthy meal ideas. I filled this out way earlier in the year, trying to think about, am I gonna do like a whole 30 or a short time where I'm really focusing on what I'm eating and following kind of a strict protocol or anything like that. So I was sort of inspired one day and wrote a bunch of ideas, and that's about it. This, I was just writing down some accounting numbers that I needed to write down, and it was kind of like a scrap paper, to be honest. Ooh, here is where, wait a minute. Is this my like official section? Yeah, it might be. So I realized that I need to keep better track of our weekly groceries for our family. And so I'm trying to like create this spread and figure out how I want to record things and how much food costs and so on and so forth. I think I left room up here to letter the month and or put some washi tape, which is why I have this big chunk at the top. I'm trying to keep notes now and use this as an opportunity to figure it out. So that way, especially in next year's planner, I can have a section for this. And I think I'm going to want and need a section for that. Bunch of blank pages because I have plenty of room for my notes. Homeschool notes, I usually write a ton of them, and I didn't need very many this year, which is why there's so much room on either end of this little section. But I did have this many notes and just wrote my homeschool notes. And then I'm pretty sure that's about it. I don't think there's anything else. So you can see that I have hundreds of pages left. But if I didn't have them, I would be worried and I wouldn't write notes. I wouldn't use as much daily. I would be rationing if I didn't have this many pages. So I would rather have them and not need them than to need them and not have them. And it has given me such planner peace to just know that no matter what I want to write down, I'm going to have the space for it. If I need to create a section or a to-do list or get my thoughts out, I have room for it. And I am so happy. This is a great system for me. I'm so happy in this planner. I feel like it looks great. It feels great. I love the size. I love how I've used the various spreads. And I am most likely going to be using this exact same planner in 2026. I feel pretty confident saying that. So I don't know. Don't we always say that as planners? And who knows how it ends up. But that is my full mid-year flip. So loving this, enjoying it. It's really working, and I will be continuing to use it through the end of the year. I'll come back in with other videos. I will maybe do some plan with me's occasionally. I'm not doing those every week anymore, so maybe when I get ready to decorate and plan for September, I can do that. But I thank you all for joining me. If you watch this video, please share, let your friends know that I am back to posting. I really appreciate if you watch this video. Thank you. Bye.